What's up? My name's Swifts. I figured I would take my chances with the YouTube thing, and I'm gonna be playing the games anyway. May as well try to share what I love. Um, I was really debating on what to play because I got a couple games that I'm lined up that I want to play, and then a game I'm currently playing, but I've already kind of played about half of it as far as I know. So it felt weird to just start in the middle. Um, and I figured Power Wash Simulator would be a pretty good game just to, get in and talk. So, yeah, today we're going to be playing Power Wash Simulator. I have played this before, but, it's just a pastime. But we're gonna do career mode. So, first up, gotta clean the van. So Harper Shaw, great news. Finally found a van for you at the auctions under your budget. Don't freak out when you see it. It looks like it's just been dredged from the bottom of a lake, but that's a good thing. Man, no one else bid on it. They missed out. Underneath that hideous layer of gunk is your perfect workhorse. Engine's a dream, no rust, there's even equipment in the back. Just needs a good hosing down and you're in business. You'll certainly earn your pressure washing stripes getting this thing clean. So, alright. Okay, select nozzle. Select extension, select nozzle, select soap, raise lower tablet, show dirt, movements. R to rotate nozzle and refill cleaning liquid. E to equip, rotate equipment. C and X. Okay. Alright. Provides the narrowest beam of water for maximum, so this is the jet. Okay. 40 degrees, so that's okay. Alright, well, I kind of like to go side by side, so I think I'll start on the back. And you gotta give it a couple pass overs. You gotta get all that light dirt off before you can really start to work on the tough grime. I don't know if there's a quicker way to do that. Oh. Oh, okay. And hold 2. But yeah, no, I mean, been playing games pretty much my whole life, and grown up watching YouTube. When I was a kid, I really tried to get into it, but you know, I was a kid. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Uh, Still don't, but I got more of a mind to figure it out now. But I got a lot of encouragement really from my mom mostly, because she knows how much I love games, and I'm an avid gamer, as one could say. Okay, well that's the backside done. I'm gonna go to the roof. I'm gonna start on the roof. I do know how loud the keyboard is. I unfortunately can't do much about that at the moment. It's the only keyboard I got, and I'm not used to muffling audio for anybody, so it doesn't bother me much. I'd like to get a quieter keyboard at some point, but as of right now, that's just not necessary. So but eventually. Alright, so it looks like the roof is part of the whole body, so I'm not exactly going to be able to perfect that side for right now. Okay. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know, I didn't really know what I would talk about, but as much time as I spend thinking about making videos, figure I'll just learn as I go, and I'm not gonna learn if I never start. Um, you know, well, I feel like most people have gone through that, you know, wanting to be a big name YouTuber in their life. I feel like it's just kind of a rite of passage for most people. I would say, my bad. I would say I've thought about it a lot, but it's just never really felt like it was in the cards. Um, I didn't really get a good PC until about a year ago. Oh, wait. There's a removals van outside my nightmare neighbor's place. They're finally going. Whoever moves in there is going to need a quality pressure washer. Okay. So yeah, I don't know, I always wanted to do the whole YouTube thing, but it's just like, when you really like look at the quality of the game, like if it's, I don't need a game to look amazing, but it's, you know, it can affect the enjoyment of the viewer, and if you're not already kind of out there in terms of being known for games, then I don't really want to start off with something like that, because then it's just kind of, I wouldn't say setting you up for failure, but it's definitely not going to help you out. Um, and I mean, you know, it's always appealed to me. It's always been like a dream of mine to just be able to play games. Can you go with that business name, or do you need me to think some up? I'm phenomenal. I thought up Grouting Thomas for that Tyler, and she's never looked back. Grouting Thomas? That's not a very, yeah. On reflection, Bonnie Tyler might have been a better fit. Grouting Thomas. Alright. Um, you know, I love games. They're my number one pastime. I just love learning about games. I love playing games, watching people play games. I always have. So it's just, you know, it's always been a really big thing in my life. I've grown up playing games, and I would like to be able to play them more than I can. So I figure I may as well just record myself and then see what happens. So alright, that looks like that's the van done. Calvin Miller. This is the extraordinary Dr. Power Wash. I got your details from my friend. Oh, okay. Oh, oh. I like that. That's nice. That's a really nice feature. I like being able to see everything that I just did. I don't know. I like watching the process. It's pretty clean. Van looks fantastic. Told you you'd be fine under the grime. I've pinged you the $100 left over from what you gave me so that you can, so that you should, so that should help you get, oh my god. So that should help get you off the ground. Also just met my new neighbor over the fence, grumbling about his dirty backyard, and told him to give you a shout. Looks like you got your first customer. Cool, cool. So clean the back garden. Okay, so I currently have the Prime Vista 1500, 900, 2000, 5000. Dang. Prime Vista Pro. Oh, I think these are just, okay, these are all just cosmetics. There's nothing different, I don't think. Prime Vista Pro? Or is that just the, maybe, huh, I don't know. Okay, well, let's keep going. Alright. Hey Doc, I hope you like a challenge because I'm pretty sure I've got the dirtiest backyard you've ever seen. It's not me bragging, by the way. I had nothing to do with it. I've just moved back to town for a bit to help my folks. Who are both down to their last knee, and rented what I thought was a great little place. Should have questioned why there weren't any garden pics in the ad. Must have bred rhinos here or something. Anyway, my girls are itching to get out there, and I don't want them still itching when they get back inside. So please do your thing. Thanks a lot, Cal. Alright, Cal. I got you. Okay, so I believe I once saw an achievement about cleaning these stones. So yeah, in the back garden, complete all 12 stepping stones first. So that's what we're gonna do, cause I like achievements. Funnily enough, my first girlfriend, Florraine Perez, used to live here back in the day. Those were good times. Alright. I like I've done some actual power washing before. When I was younger, used to help my dad out with work sometimes, and he was like a construction general contractor. So I would help with things, you know, grunt work and all that. But I would especially love the pressure washing jobs because they were just really satisfying. My hands would itch like crazy after holding the pressure washer for so long. But like every now and again I'd have to just kind of like hold it like a rifle on my arm without actually like gripping it with my hands, because if I did, it would just it itched really bad just because the vibrations, you know, shaking your hands and all that. There we go. First achievement, first steps in the back garden. Complete. Okay, so I'm gonna go. Kind of want to line all the brick, but I'll just line this brick for now. Actually, can I? Oh, let me back up if I'm gonna do that because that's missing a little corner. Alrighty. Nope. Click an E on accident. Alright, looks like this fence will be next. Yeah, I don't know. I just try my hand. I don't really know much of what to say at this point, so I'll just play. I like immersing myself into games. I like just, you know, getting in and really trying to see everything that world has to offer. So I don't really talk too much when I'm playing because, you know, I'm usually on my own. I would say that I'm a big story games kind of guy. I really love story games because I love just being able to connect with a world, that's not my own. Just get like a kind of a taste for another's perspective, or just another experience. I played a lot of games in my life. It just what I like to do. And I recently went back and kind of, finished games that I started when I was younger, before I really had like kind of the ability or like the drive to complete a game. I got really into Far Cry again kind of recently. I played 4 was my first Far Cry game growing up, and I remember I loved it. Like, it was just the setting, the characters. Pagan Min was just an amazing villain because he's just so charismatic, and you really can't. Although he is the villain, you don't see him do anything that's like outrageously crazy, unless I'm misremembering. But it just, the story and the world and how everything interacted with each other was just so good. And I've yet to replay 4, kind of since back in the day when I was really into it. I played it on my 360 because that was just kind of what I had. And I remember, because there's this part, it's about, I think it's like the halfway mark. It's like, because it's like a your decision thing. Um, you get called into, like, kind of like, it's dinner. You call to dinner with Pagan Min, and you have a choice of what, you want to do. You can either kill him, or you can spare him, and then you can get much more game. Now, as a kid, I didn't really understand the whole concept of what was happening. I was just like, in my head, he's the villain, and to kill him, if you kill him, you win basically, or like, the good side prevails and all that. Um, so without much thinking, I just kind of killed him immediately, and just kind of ended the game. And as a kid, I saw nothing wrong with that, but as I was getting older, I was like, that was such a stupid decision, because not only did I basically just rob myself of more of this game that I loved, but now if I wanted to get back to that point, I'd have to replay the whole game again, which would not really have been a problem. But like, I didn't want to replay the whole game again. I just played it. Now I have some games that I just love, and I can play over and over again, but not every game is like that, and definitely not at the time. I didn't have the same patience or like focus that I did when I was younger. Well, that's the lawnmower done. So it's just, I love games. But back to the Far Cry thing. 4 was my first game. I've played a little bit of 3, never beat it, and 5 was the first Far Cry game that I really, really got into. Like when it dropped. I remember I was with a friend. I used to play baseball when I was younger, and I was with this was my friend named Aiden, and I was having like a sleepover at his house, and um, his mom rented Far Cry 5 for us, like from a Redbox, and we played it all night. Like, we were taking turns after each death and everything, and it was just so amazing. And it's the first Far Cry game set in America. It's set in Montana, I believe. So you know, I'm from Texas, but it's still like, I mean, it's a stereotypical America view, but it's not entirely wrong, especially where I'm from. So it was just amazing to see that in the game, because I've lived in Texas my whole life, and like don't get me wrong, I love Texas, but it's like nature-wise, it's just pretty visually boring, especially compared to Montana. Like, I don't know what it was showing in the game. Like, that place is, it's beautiful. You got all these tall trees, you got lakes everywhere, you got, it's just so pretty. And Texas doesn't really have that. Like, we have, at least where I'm from San Antonio, so it's just like, it's kind of barren. You know, just a lot of buildings and stuff like that. Like, there was this spot near, oh, aim mode. Whoa. There was this spot near my house. Whoa, okay. There was this spot near my house. It was just kind of like a patch of woods. Like, it wasn't even, there was nothing in it. There's no real reason to go into it, but it was just a patch of woods, and it looked nice. Nice enough. Texas is really just, pretty sure they're just oak trees kind of everywhere, and they're not the prettiest tree, but, you know, it's a tree. Um, but just the visual change, it was just so amazing to look at. But I played the game, I was probably maybe 10 around that time when it dropped. I'm pretty sure it released in 2018. Could be wrong on that, but I believe it's 2018. And I mean, that's kind of, I don't know if I'd say the height of my video gaming like experience, because I've played so much since then. But I think it was definitely the time where video games were like the only thing that I had in terms of just enjoyment out of like stuff that I had to do, because that was just, it was just amazing. It was just the best pastime to me. I just love games. Um, but I got into it then, played it quite a bit. Never beat the game just because, you know, I'm a kid. I didn't have the real like will to beat games like that. I would always do John's region, so I just knew his region like the back of my hand. Like, I just knew every side mission in that area. I knew every story related thing in that area, because it was just so innately familiar after so many times of just running through it. As a kid, I never went into Jacob's area, which is I believe he's the older brother. He's the region to the north, the Whitetail Mountains. And as a kid, he scared me because it was like, I mean, he was like this real militaristic personalities. His whole kind of storyline is like cull the herd, you know, uh, like the weak have their purpose, and I don't know. I just didn't. As a kid, I was like, whoa. But it going back, because I did recently, very recently, I went back and played it, and it was just, it's so nostalgic to just kind of walk through this area that I've never been to personally. Do you do bikes? I could help someone with my bike. Okay. Let's see here. Career mode, clean the back garden. No, clean the dirt bike. Oh, okay. Quick little level. But yeah, I mean, it's just an amazing game. There's always controversy around games. I mean, that's inevitable to happen. I remember growing up, I was like, Far Cry 4 was just amazing. And people that I knew were always like, nah, it's just a bad game. It's not like what the Far Cry series represents, and I really just didn't understand the hate. And like even now, there's a lot of people that still hate Far Cry 4. There's a lot of people that hate 5. I mean, people. I would think, me personally, there's a lot of people that are kind of like an elitist type of mentality when it comes to some games, and it's just I don't get it. I don't get why you would lock yourself into thinking that only one type of game is how it needs to be, or else it's not a good game. Because it's like, why would you want to limit yourself to just the one type of game? Like, don't get me wrong, I got games that I love, that I would want more of that game, but I don't want every game to be like that game. That's the whole point of like creation. Like you gotta games allow people to just express different parts of themselves that they can't really get across just on their own like that. And I don't know, I've always loved games for that reason, because you can find almost anything out there today that just really represents who you are and what you love and what kind of story you really want to see. You can find anything out there. And I don't get why when some people find that thing, they want to make sure that everybody else has to see that thing. I'm all for sharing your love for games, but like why would you tear down somebody else's love for another game just because you think yours is better than theirs? Doesn't make sense. Does not make sense to me at all. I don't know. Games provide, a space for everyone. It doesn't matter what you have going on. You can be struggling with all types of things, or maybe you're not struggling. Maybe you just want, something to relax to. Games are there for you. And I've always loved games for that very reason. Doesn't matter who you are. The game doesn't care. The game is there to be the game, and for you to experience that game any way you want to. And I just love games. I love them so much. But got sidetracked. Um, yeah, I played Far Cry 5 recently because I went back and I did everything there was. Oh, that's annoying. I hit the chair. I did everything there was to do. I love platinuming games because I want to see everything there is to see. I want to know everything there is to know about that environment. And sometimes some games, ooh, they really some games make it almost impossible to get their platinum for almost any number of reasons. Like some games, like Doom. Doom is an example of one. The 2016 version, like Doom Eternal, they have achievements that are required for the platinum that force you to play multiplayer. Now, I personally believe forced multiplayer achievements should not exist, in that they completely ruin the experience, because forcing someone to play a multiplayer if like they don't want to be playing it, it just sucks. Nobody likes doing stuff that they don't want to do, and then being forced to do that just so you can get the platinum is crazy. But that's another thing, is you can't even do it anymore. The Doom multiplayer is so dead. Nobody plays it anymore. So getting that platinum, at least on Steam, I think on console it might be different, but like on PC, there's not a separation. I know, like when I used to play on Xbox back in the day and PlayStation, they have in like their platinum stuff. There's a platinum for beating like stuff that's just campaign related, and then there's like DLC is separated, and there's like multiplayer is separated, I think. But Steam doesn't do that. So some Steam Platinums require you to buy the DLCs, or they require you to play multiplayer stuff, and depending on the game, that multiplayer is gone. Nobody's playing it anymore because it's either been so long or the multiplayer wasn't good to begin with. When I was going through Far Cry 5, I never played the multiplayer growing up because I'm not a multiplayer person like that. I really don't like online shooters or just kind of online things in general. I love immersing myself into a story where it's just me and the game. Now, when I went through the Far Cry 5 Platinum on Steam, the they had required multiplayer achievements. They weren't that bad compared to some other ones that I've seen, but they were not good by any means. Like it's just there was one you had to like reach level 20 in the arcade, and that didn't take too long, but it definitely took me at least 3 or 4 days of playing strictly arcade to get to that, because trying to do it with the other platinum, with the other achievements that are required for it, it took forever. I'd be waiting like an hour just to get into a match with someone, and then we would get into the match, they'd play like one game, and then they would just leave. When I the final night that I spent doing the platinum for, because all I had left was multiplayer stuff. The final night that I spent playing multiplayer, I was on for maybe 4 or 5 hours just waiting, playing games with people. And it was the same people. They would come in to the lobby that I made. I like labeled it achievement hunting so that they knew, because that's really the only people playing that multiplayer now are achievement hunters. It's the only reason anybody still plays the multiplayer like that. Like, no disrespect if you love the multiplayer, but it's not that good. And the I don't know, there was these people that kept joining my games. They would play for a little bit, and then they would leave, and then they would come back, and then they would play for a little bit, then they would leave, and they would just do that over and over again for the entire time. Because when I was online playing these servers, you can see what servers are up. There's like one that was like locked. It was two people, probably just friends playing, messing around, and then there was like some other public ones, and it's the same people. Just for 5 hours, the same people just kept bouncing in and out of the server while I was sitting there trying to get the stuff done. There was one like you had to kill like 100 and something enemies in multiplayer, which just meant I needed other people to play a game mode where we could just kind of kill each other over and over again. There's a game mode that is really good for that, if you ever decide to try to do the platinum yourself. It's called Shovel Launchers, where there's two platforms that are separated by a big ravine in the middle, and you have unlimited shovels, and you just throw shovels across the ravine and try to kill the other player on the enemy team. It's a pretty fun game mode, but when you have to play it over and over again just to get the achievement done, it's not that fun. Now, I mean, I still had fun doing it because I kind of just, put on some YouTube and sat there and kind of grinded it out. But the fact that I had to do that was annoying because it's a forced multiplayer and achievement on a game that I really wouldn't be playing multiplayer on, like, in any capacity. Now, I personally don't fully understand why game developers decide to do that. I would imagine it's just because they want to make money and they want people to play their game, which is nothing wrong with that. But it's like, why it feels very limiting because I don't want to do that. I don't want to play multiplayer like that. But you're forcing me to do it, and I want I want the 100%. I want the perfect game. I want all the achievements. And you're forcing me to play a game mode I don't want to play on your game. It's gonna drive me away from your game if I just can't get the thing done because the multiplayer is so bad or it's dead. And I don't know, I want to experience games for their stories, but not being able to ever do the platinum really will put me off of the game. Like I don't know, I like being able to 100%. I like being able to say I did everything there was to do because that's how much I really like this game. But they just, I don't know, they make it impossible. And some games have it where it's like you just, it doesn't matter what you do, you might be able to get the platinum, but you're gonna have to devote your life to this one game. And there's so many game developers and games out there that I'll find the platinum is just, you just need to be playing the game for like 15 hours a day or you're never going to get the platinum. And it's just like over and over and over again. You need to do the same thing over and over and over again. And it's just boring and it's not fun because you're just repeating the same thing over and over again. Like on Far Cry 5, I had to buy the DLCs for it because there was this DLC. It's I forget the guy's name. But this is guy, he shows up in Far Cry 4 and 5, I believe. Or no, he shows up in Far Cry 3. I don't know if he's in 4. But he's in 3 and 5. He's the guy who like made the Blood Dragon movies. And you know, he's kind of really searching for that next movie because he wants to make money. So he pitches a bunch of ideas to like directors and stuff. And the DLC is you play through his pitches. Now they're kind of interesting, but the thing is you have to play through the pitch with like all the dialogue and all that. So you get the story of it and like him trying to explain the whole story, the whole premise, the director listening, adding feedback, stuff like that. But then after you've completed that, you have to do the point rush mode or whatever it was called. And in that, you need to basically learn the level in and out, and you have to speed through it, getting as many points as possible to earn the different ranks. There's like a silver, or like a bronze, silver, and gold rank basically, and you have to get all of those. You have to get gold on every single pitch for an achievement, which took me maybe 6 hours, just because I had to keep running through the levels. And it's like if you mess up at one point, you kind of just need to restart, because if you don't, you're not going to get through it with enough points. Some of them are pretty easy to just get that. Some of them are way, way harder and annoying because you have to really farm points. Like there's this type of zombie that'll pop up. I forget, I don't know what it's called, but it has like this like orange pustule clump on its back, and that you need to shoot that clump. Oh wait, no, not that zombie. That zombie doesn't do much in terms of mattering, but there's this other zombie. It's called a hothead. Its head is literally glowing orange. If you shoot it, it like bursts on fire and then just runs around and tries to hit you and everything in its path. That zombie is necessary for getting a high score on like every level, because you need to shoot the zombie in the head, and then when it's on fire, you just need to keep pumping bullets into its head in order to rack up a bunch of points. And it's hard to aim sometimes whenever you're trying to do that, because you just need to keep hitting the same thing while the zombie's flailing all over your screen. You just got to keep hitting its head and keep racking up the points, or else you're not going to get enough. And then if you take too long doing that, you're going to run out of time, and then you don't get your time bonus. Just the whole thing. But there was this one achievement quite literally the dumbest achievement in that game. You needed to kill like an outrageous amount of zombies. I don't know how many. I think it was like 3,000 maybe. You need to kill like 3,000 zombies. But even if you go through all of the levels, by the time you've gotten gold on every single one of the pitches, you're nowhere near 3,000 zombies. And like if you go through one level, you're gonna get, I don't know, maybe 100 zombies. So then you just have to replay over and over and over again to grind it out when it doesn't matter, besides just the fact that you killed a bunch of zombies. Like, I don't even, like, why is that an achievement? Uh, Besides the fact of just being able to make your players just kind of have allegiance to the game, because if they want that platinum, they have to just keep playing it over and over and over again. I just hate when I hate when developers do stuff like that, because then you just gotta, like, yeah, I love the game, but I don't want to do this. This is dumb. Why would you just make me replay this over and over and over again when there's nothing new to it? I'm just going to be doing the same thing for hours on end to get an achievement that is nothing but just like, oh look, I did this over and over again. There's no point. There's no point. Now, I had to look up a guide because I was like, surely there's an easier way than just playing over and over. And there is. But even then, that method still takes hours. I had to turn my computer on, just leave it on overnight while it was running. And then it would just, basically, it's the first level, I believe. It's the first pitch that you can do. You need to, there's these like tractors around, and they have like a grinder on the front of them. You need to get one of those tractors and position it in this doorway at a very specific angle so that the zombies don't think the doorway is blocked and will try to run through it and run straight into the mincer, but also so that they can't get through the door and around the mincer, because then if they do that, they'll start hitting the side of the tractor and move it. And if your tractor moves too much and the zombies are no longer dying to the mincer, then they won't keep spawning. So you have to set it up perfectly so that it does that. But even then, you get maybe, I think it's 6 to 8 zombies come out of this like little spawn thing. There's like this kind of, I don't know, warhead looking thing with these orange vials in it. And you have to shoot those. To end the level normally, you gotta break all the vials in that thing, and then zombies will stop spawning, you'll win the level. But in this, you need to make sure you don't break any of them. And the zombies will just keep spawning every time you've killed all of them with the tractor. And it's just an AFK farm. You just put it there and you forget about it. And then you just wait. That's another thing. If you do that, you have to make sure you beat the level. Even after you've sat there for hours just letting zombies run into the tractor over and over and over again. You have to make sure you beat the level, because if you don't beat the level, if you just quit and exit, it will not save any kills whatsoever. And then if you do that, you've just lost hours of your life for no reason. Which is just, it's such an insane achievement, because it's like, why would this even exist? What purpose does this have other than to just be annoying? I don't understand why games make achievements like that. I mean, I get it, you won't be able to play your game, but at that point people are just going to hate your game. They're not going to want to play the game because you have to force them to do something that's so stupid. But I mean, I don't know, it is what it is, I guess. I already spent my hours doing that tractor grind, and I got my platinum. Took forever, but I did it. And at least I can say that I did it. Not that it matters much to anyone but me, but hey, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I'm currently playing Hollow Knight. That's the game that I'm already kind of halfway through. I tried to play it once before, but just kind of lost interest after putting in like 20 something hours maybe. Um, that's the only issue I really have in terms of being a completionist the way I am, is sometimes, not very often, but sometimes I will get to the point in a game where I'm so, because I love doing every possible thing there is to do, but sometimes, some games, there's just too much. There's just, there's just too much. Like, uh, Red Dead Redemption 2. That's the biggest example I can think of. It's a phenomenally designed game, and just the how many interactions there is in the world is just amazing. It's so beautifully designed. It's such a nice story, and it's my type of game. But every single time I try to play it, there's so much. It's that type of game where you really just need it needs to be the only game you'll basically be playing forever to get kind of everything there is to get out of it. I like playing one game at a time. I don't typically like to do multiple games at a time unless like right now what's going on. I'm playing Hollow Knight, but I'm taking a break from Hollow Knight just for the video because I've already started Hollow Knight. It wouldn't feel right to me to just kind of start recording halfway through. I might, but I don't know. I probably won't. Now, okay, that thud in the background is my cat. She is trying to open the door because I have it closed. Um, but she is currently struggling. She can normally open doors, but I put a towel under the door, just kind of muffle the sound because I didn't want to bother my sister. But it's just Red Dead, beautiful, beautiful game, and I really should love it, but I just can't get into it because there's just so much. Now, for some people, that's not an issue because for some people, they'll just they'll just lock into Red Dead, and then Red Dead is what they want. That's what they'll play. I can respect that. But me personally, I play too many games, and I want to play so many other games, even while I'm playing another game. And to commit all my time to just one game like that, I just couldn't do it. I really couldn't. Because, like, if I'm trying to see all aspects of Red Dead like I do with every other game, oh boy, am I going to be there for a while. And then to just kind of only play that one game forever, I couldn't do it. I could not do it. But, beautiful game. I just can't get into it. There's just too much going on. Yeah, I mean, respect to anybody who's platinum Red Dead. That is a feat to be sure. But yeah, I don't know, I love games. I've said that many a time in this video already, but it's the truth. I've always wanted to do the YouTube thing, but it's just never been in the cards per se. I suppose it really could have been if I tried like that, but you know, I'm a rather nervous individual. I don't like going out there like that. Alright, so we have, okay, we got the grill, swing, and the shed, and that should be everything. Alright. Yeah, no, I always thought about YouTube. It's always been a real big presence in my life. Growing up, Jacksepticeye was my goat. Let me tell you. Still is, but let me tell you. I remember I would always come home after school and I would just immediately watch his new video if he had it, or I just would dive into his content. Like I think I've no joke probably watched 75% of the videos he's posted, because he's always been just uh, quite honestly one of the greatest comforts of my life. Just being able to watch somebody thoroughly enjoy games the way that I do and get to do kind of what I would want to do for a living. Like, it's very optimistic because it's a hard game to get into, and I'm gonna do my thing, and if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, then it's just for me, and I got no issue with that. That's propane tank. Okay, there we go. Okay, I think that's Total Barbecue. Yeah. Oh. I just his content has always made me feel good just watching it, because it's just been, no matter what was going on in my life, I could know that his content was there, and it was a very good support. So I know I owe a lot of thanks to Jacksepticeye for kind of who I am today and what kind of stuff I like to really interact with. I didn't have the best childhood growing up. It's part of the reason why I love games so much. It lets you escape. And I think that's the case for a lot of people. Games are just they're that escape. Doesn't matter what you're running from. Games are there. And I personally, oh, looks like the cat's opened the door. Well, let me let her out. Okay, she caught herself on the door and got mad at me. You too? Well, I have 3 cats. I was the only real cat person in my family growing up. And after a lot of begging, they got me my first cat, Bandit. We have since acquired 2 more, Lemon and Ozzy. They are very cute. They're a cat, What else you can expect from a cat? Um, but Lemon knows how to open doors, and she is very adamant about escaping places, even though she's the one who came in here in the first place. But doesn't matter. But yeah, no, I mean, YouTube's always been. It's always just seemed like the dream. I get to play games that I love. I get to make videos and share my love of games to other people. And ideally, they would respond well and appreciate my sharing of my love for the game. Now, that obviously won't always be the case, but, I mean, I'm not gonna, by any means, I'm not gonna expect anything. But I really would appreciate just being able to share what I love. So even if nothing happens with it, I'll know it's here for me. It's kind of like a catalog, being able to look back at points in my life, what was going on, see the journey, and whatnot. This cherry's dirty. Good lord. Okay, I feel like there's like a crack in there that I can't really get to. Oh, there's this. Okay, so the chains. That. Yes, I knew it. left is the shed. I need this. Oh, wait, there. I gotta get on the roof. Um, yeah, I'm not really sure what I'll do for this video, for this channel, but whatever happens, happens, and hopefully it feels right as I'm doing it. I was kind of considering how long to make this video, because it'll be the first one, and I don't want to make it too long, scare people away, but we're already almost at the hour mark, and it's kind of coming to a nice close. But I mean, I don't know. It's a process, the journey. Learn along the way, figure out what works, figure out what doesn't. And we'll see. Hopefully people will find this and resonate with it if they want. I mean, I don't know if I'm one to be resonated with, but all I can hope is that what I share is received well, and you know, I couldn't ask for much more. Not sure what I'll play next. I'm really considering Alan Wake. I played it for the first time in 2023. I played it over winter break off for school, and I had never seen gameplay. Like, I always heard about it growing up. I always heard like how good of a game it was, but I'd never seen gameplay. I didn't know anything about the story. Like, the only thing that I knew was that, or at least something I thought I knew, was that you killed things with light. And going into the game, that was all that I had to go off of. I played the game once, played it through, phenomenal game. Like, just completely different from anything that I had ever played. Like, the whole mechanics, the story, it was really just a fresh take. Like, I had never seen that type of game, and it was amazing. I really enjoyed it thoroughly, so I'm honestly considering giving it another go. I think what I'll do for playing, because I'm a completionist, so I spend a lot of time in game just kind of walking around, checking areas, going the opposite of the way forward, just to see if there's anything, you know, kind of sneaky hidden. But I understand that that's kind of a hard thing to record, because a lot of times when I'm playing a game, you know, it's just me kind of, dang, what is left? 99% cleaned. A lot of time when I'm playing a game, oh, step walls. Which one are you? This one, okay. All right there. Nice. Damn, still 99. And a lot of time when I play a game, I really take my time with it, and you know, I like to be able to say I played the game. Like, I really saw what there was to see. Food shelves? I think that's a grill thing. Yeah. I like to say that I played that game. You know, I got out of it everything there was to get. And Alan Wake it's an older game for sure, but I don't care, man. It's a beautiful game. I played it on my PlayStation, and I played the remaster, and okay, retaining walls. I played it on yeah, I played it on PlayStation, and whew, there we go. All right, Calvin Miller. Hey Doc, Cal here. Got a job for you. My folks. Oh shit, my bad. Folks bungalow when you can fit it in. All right. Well, that's this job done. But yeah, I'm thinking Alan Wake might be the move. I'll probably finish Hollow Knight. Maybe start Alan Wake while I'm still playing Hollow Knight. We'll see, because usually if I start a game while I'm still playing another game, I'll kind of forget about the other game. Don't mean to, but it's what happens. But hey, I don't know. That was a very fun first episode. Or first video. Um, I don't know. I mean, see if we can't get this YouTube ball rolling. But hey, it's been real. I will see y'all in the next video. Thank you for watching.